Hey, welcome back to Doriansdiyaudio. So I want to quickly go over a product that I actually purchased this quite a while ago. Being in the car audio or even home audio, right? I have a setup I'll show you guys later on how to make this work with a regular home receiver. But I purchased this originally so that I can send signal to my car amplifiers that weren't actually hooked up in the car. But this is a kind of nice piece of equipment here. Now, this is a product by a company called MOREGAX, and it is called the M18 Bluetooth 5.3 audio receiver. Now, this thing will send and receive Bluetooth. So I've had it sitting here in my basement for some time, and I'm gonna use it, right? That's why I purchased it. I did buy something that's way more fancier, but this is going to be something that I use in my basement, something that I use in the garage, right? So the price of this thing is only $36.99 right now on Amazon, and there's a 12% coupon to apply to it. So yeah, let's check her out and see what she looks like. All right, so there you go. There's the box. All right, and just standard packaging, nothing fancy. Let's get her open and see what she looks like on the inside. So we got your user guide right here. All right, and let's just go in and see what we got in this package here. So that's how it comes packaged, standard packaging, nothing wrong with it. The device is actually a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. I thought the device was going to be in a package this way and that it was going to be somewhere around that size. But as we can see, it's somewhere around that size. And I don't know if I have a tape measure. Let me go see if I got one. Okay, so got me a trusty old tape measure. And as I was starting to say earlier, I thought this thing was going to be somewhere around this size here, right? Which is 7.5 inches wide by 5.5 inches by 2 inches tall. So I figured it was going to be somewhere in that vicinity of size. And it turns out it's not. This is a unit. We're not going to open it up first because we're going to look at the other stuff. But since I started talking about size, why not? It's 4.5 inches wide by 3 inches deep by 1.5 inches tall that way. So pretty small. And I was thinking about something pretty cool when I ran upstairs to get my tape measure on how else you can utilize this piece here. So anyway, it does come with a USB cable, or sorry, not USB. This is regular RCA to 1/8 inch jack. So if you were using this to transmit, say you had a phone, this phone doesn't have 1/8 inch jack, but you plug this in here, this into the back of the unit, and you can transmit Bluetooth to something else. It also comes with 2 1/8 inch jacks cord, right? So just regular auxiliary cord with 1/8 inch on both sides. And then you have a USB, a regular USB-A, I think they call that, the USB-C, which is cool. And we got to keep that in mind. In here, you also get the 2 antennas because, like I said, this thing will transmit and receive Bluetooth. And then you get your batteries. The batteries here is for this cool little remote, which is actually really nice and small. It's like just about 4 7/8 inches tall. So keep this in mind because, like I said, I thought about something cool on my way up. But let's quickly pull this thing out of the package and check it out. So they do say that this thing it has a battery in it, right? So it's battery powered. Let's see what happens when we turn this on right now. Put my glasses on. All right, so glasses on. All right, so I just turned it on and got nothing. It's been in my basement for, oh yeah, look at that. It did turn on. So I had some battery power right there. When did I order this piece? I ordered this November 23rd of 2024. We are now in October of 2025. So cool beans, she's got power, right? But check out how small this unit is, right? Now it has bass and it has treble and then a volume knob. And when you turn that volume all the way down, it turns it off. And you can adjust your volume here on this, and you can also adjust your bass and treble. So it has the two modes where you can do the Bluetooth, right? And then it has, if you flip this switch down, that does transmitting. On the back side here, which is really cool, is these two red caps come off, and we'll take those off right now. And we are going to go ahead and, well, before I install them, let me use this antenna to point some stuff out. So here is this says analog in and out, right? So I guess, and depending on how this switches, we'll, whether that's an input or an output, we will go over that when we plug this thing up and get it used. But you have that 1/8 inch jack here, and you have two RCAs. Then over here for digital in, you have a regular coaxial, which is pretty cool. And then you have Toslink / optical, right? That's also pretty dope. Now, you can take a USB stick and plug it in here and play your music, right? Whatever music you have on a USB. And then I think this Type-C here is only good for charging, right? So let's go ahead and get this antenna plugged in. Screw those on real quick. All right, we got one antenna there. And we have two antenna there. Now the antennas do swivel, right? So once you tighten them down, you can swivel them, and they also do the old bendy thingy. So guess depending on what and how you need to manipulate these antennas, it would work for you. But that's how the unit looks. And here we go. So one thing I was thinking about with this, when I was talking about when I was going upstairs, oh, look at that. So as you turn the volume, you can see the LED in there changes. And I think, if memory serves me correctly, that's RBG, so you can change a whole bunch of colors. But one thing I was thinking was, theoretically, you can use this to go right into a DSP, and your DSP to your amplifiers to your speakers, and you could use this to bypass some of these new stereo systems, because we do know they're all getting super complicated, right? But if you needed to use something like this, you can use it. Like I said, I pretty much picked this up so that I can send a signal to an amplifier that I want to test out or use, or, you know, like bench test, or just kind of set up for me to have music to play in the garage or down here in the basement or something. So I have an old school Kenwood receiver sitting over here, and I have two smaller Polk bookshelf speakers. We're going to set up here, and we're going to get this plugged in and utilize my regular phone to see, you know, let's check out the sound quality of this and see how everything goes. So give me another second to turn around, get everything set up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, now taking the auxiliary here, we're going to go outputs. And then I am going to find a spot on the back of the receiver. We'll go DVD CD. And now we should have audio in. All right, so with that being audio in, let's grab the old cell phone and we're going to back out of all of that and we're going to search for this on the Bluetooth. All right, look at that, quick and easy, M18, pairing. All right, so are we paired? I'm not sure if there's something that I need to do to pair this. All right, just like that, we're good. We're paired up now. All right, let's go ahead and turn on the receiver and see what we got for sound. All right, so we got some sound. This is a radio. All right, and let's go ahead and get this switched over to input, CD, DVD. Let's go ahead and find some music. I'm just gonna find some YouTube safe music for right now. Now, let's turn this down just a little bit so we can talk. So right now, as we sit, I did turn the treble all the way up because typically that's kind of how I like my highs to be there, right? The bass is all the way down, and I'm so surprised. I always forget how good these little bookshelf speakers sound. Just sitting right here, man, they got some decent bass to them. But let's go ahead and see what happens when we turn the bass up on here. Now, I don't know what those can handle, and you can see this as 100 by 5, so I can't crank it with the bass, but this track has some decent bass. Let's go ahead and restart it. So it has a mute button also, but so you guys can see the bass is about halfway up on here. This receiver, I haven't touched anything in here. I would have to go through and play with it, sound setups and stuff like that. I'm not really going to do that right now because this is not about the receiver. This is more so about this receiver here, being the Bluetooth receiver. So let's go ahead and crank that back up and switch over to another song real quick. There's some preset EQs in here too. I just hit the EQ sound and you can hear it change. We'll switch to a sound or a track that's a little bit more upbeat and dramatic so we can hear differences. Oh, check that out. I hit skip on here and it skipped on my telly. So check that out. Okay, so what I figured out here was that this EQ button, let's turn it up. And we'll just kind of crank that down some so you can hear me. But this EQ button is basically just EQ on or EQ off, right? So this is probably flat with it off. And then when I turn this on, you can hear. Let's go to a different track and check that out. If you're looking for a cool little device like this to be able to add Bluetooth to your home stereo or whatever, right? Or as I said, you can even use this in your car. You can run this to your DSP. A lot of these DSPs, a lot of them now come with Bluetooth, but some of them don't. And some of them are tricky or problematic on Bluetooth, who have been having issues. You could theoretically use this to Bluetooth right into your DSP and then go from there, right? And then in your phone, when you go to your Bluetooth, let's go here. If I went to my Tacoma, let's turn that. I don't think it's going to do it because it won't, because I kicked myself out. So let's go back into there. See how fast it connects. Connected fast, right? So details. All right, so if you go into like, you can set in your car, you can set audio to play, to turn off, so it doesn't play the audio to your stereo. But you can use this to you can have your phone still go to your stereo. This is things that you'll have to kind of figure out. Maybe we'll do something. I'll bring this out to the car and we'll play around with it. But I just wanted to give you a quick open box on it and check it out. It seems pretty cool, man. I'm actually pretty stoked about this thing. Let's put some more music back on. Man, that sounds like really good. That sounds super good for it now. This Kenwood receivers, these older Kenwood receivers, they might not be as jam-packed with all of the technology as the newer ones, but one thing is they always sounded great, right? And then these little Polk Audio bookshelf speakers, I don't use them constantly, but when I do bust them out and put them to use, in scenarios like this, man, these little guys always blow me away. But one thing that I can say is that these tweeters are on access to me, right? The woofers are on access to me. So we're not in a car environment where we're getting any kind of, interference from the glass, any breakups or, cancellations is what I'm trying to say. And the sounds, I haven't listened to music that I preferably listen to, right? I have this YouTube safe music stuff on, but I'll tell you right now, I would want to test this, and I may possibly even do that using Rue, to using like that loop back to see if this thing can put the full frequency range out. But from what I am hearing right now, this thing is giving me all of my high-end frequencies. Now, I don't have my subwoofer hooked up, which I could do that, but I'm not going to go through that right now. But it appears that the high-end sound is good and on point. It doesn't sound like it's rolling off, but once again, that's through my ears. I'm like 43 years old, and I built power plants for 15 years. I build lowriders still now to this day, and have for the past 20-something years for, so I'm sure my high end of my ears is kind of rolled off a little bit into comparison to some other people. But either or which way, my hearing isn't bad, right? I think it's pretty good. And what I am getting from the sound signature from here seems to be very good. Let's just go ahead real quick and crank up one more tune, and then we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. But let's check this out some more, y'all. Man, that bass is surprising. Little woofers are shaking. All right, y'all. So there you have it. This is once again dope little cheap, and like I said, cheap. It's not expensive, and like I said, I bought this about a year ago. And look, y'all, only thing plugged into the back is the RCAs, right? So, and by this utilizing a USB-C, this is something you can plug in. You can plug in USB-C in here, and you can run this to whatever you're running for powering your car. And I'm sure this thing will stay powered up. Now, I think it said somewhere that the battery life, and I will embed that on the screen for you guys, but I believe the battery life on this thing is something like 12 hours, okay? And then another thing I'm looking here is I did see someone use this. You can put your microphone in and you can transmit it to something, right? So you can make a wired mic Bluetooth if that's another way you would like to use this. But we're going to come back to this. I'm going to bring this in a truck and we're going to play around with it and see what's up. Maybe I'll shoot some Rue and see what my frequency response is going Bluetooth into my stereo through my DSP, and then we'll hook this thing up and shoot it into the DSP and then shoot Rue again and see how clean the signal or you know, make sure we can get all of the frequency range out of it. But for the price, which I forgot now, let's see, is for, yeah. So for the price of $36.99, I think that this is a great buy. Now, you're hearing some static in the background, and I'm pretty sure that's coming from this volume knob here, or even interference. Yeah, that's interference from here, just so you know. But anyway, I hope you guys like that. Please like, subscribe, share, and I'll put the description down below for you guys so you can check it out if it's something you're interested in. But until next time, y'all, peace.